In my 20s, I've been able to stay at 5-star hotels, lounge at airport lounges, and fly first and business class for practically free. And is it because I'm a richy rich VIP? No. Just a regular P with over 1 million points with these 18 credit cards. But how? How does this work? These credit cards have allowed me to substantially elevate my level of travel over the past couple years, so I want to try to share my journey with you in case this is something that you want to try for yourself. So I'll quickly go over some rules that I follow in order to do this and maintain my 800 credit score. I'll go through all 18 credit cards and why I have them, so be sure to stay till the end. And most importantly, why I'm willing to pay over $3,000 in annual fees to do all of this. So if that sounds great to you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell below so you can join our growing family here on YouTube. So let's do some basic ground rules. For one, treat your credit cards like a debit card. Do not hold a balance, do not pay interest on any of these things. And if you don't have the money, don't overspend. I'll throw my little snapshot of my credit score here on the screen. But it is kind of a myth that having all of these credit cards just destroys your credit score. So just really quickly on that, the reason why it's fine for me is that I don't spend on all of these credit cards. Part of your credit score is the amount of utilization you have amongst all of your credit lines. So by opening a new card, you increase the amount of credit that's available to you. So if you keep your spending the same and you're not increasing your spending just every time you get the credit card, your utilization should go down with each credit card that you open. So that positively helps your score and kind of offsets the temporary ding that you have when you have the credit inquiry. So if you do this right, you should not have permanent, long-lasting impacts to your credit score. And the last thing is, don't spend money on the card that you wouldn't already normally spend. So if you're trying to get a sign-up bonus, which is basically what the cards offer you when they open up their cards, don't just go out there and spend $15,000 just to get the sign-up bonus. Only do that if, say, you have a big purchase that you know is coming up that you have to have. So like for example, if you're moving and you need furniture, great time to open a credit card because you're already gonna buy that furniture, so you might as well get some points on the back end of that. So again, that's just super brief rules. Just follow those, you'll be pretty good. If you want me to go more in depth on this kind of stuff, comment below, let me know. So now let's get into all 18 of my credit cards. So the first credit card that I ever got was called the First Hawaiian Bank Priority Rewards Card. But long story short, free card. I do keep this card open. I don't spend on it at all, but I keep it open because it's my longest line of credit. Credit history is a big part of your credit score, so if you have a long line, but it's a free card, you want to be able to keep that open. Card number 2 that I opened, another long line of credit, but that's the Hawaiian Airlines World Elite Mastercard, and that has a $99 annual fee. So in addition to that card being one of my longest lines of credit, the $99 annual fee actually pretty much pays for itself. So with this card, you get 2 free bags anytime you fly. A bag can cost anywhere from $30 to $40 depending on the flight. So if I get 2 free bags, as long as I take more than one flight or if I have multiple bags, the $99 annual fee cancels itself out. And I always fly on Hawaiian Airlines. I live in Hawaii, that's why I have the card. So if you're living out in like Kentucky, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to have this card unless you somehow take a lot of trips to Hawaii in that part of the country. So those 2 cards are just all I had from kind of when I was in high school-ish, maybe a little bit in college. So it wasn't until a few years ago where I really started getting these cards. The first one I got was the American Express Platinum card. So that one at the time had a sign-up bonus of I believe like 120 or 125,000 points. And that one has a $695 annual fee. But I really love this card. So on this card, they have a $200 hotel credit with their fine hotels, which I use every year. There's a $200 flight credit that you can use on a selected airlines. There's a $240 streaming credit, which I use for Peacock. And there's a $200 Uber credit that I can use on either Uber Eats or Ubering. Not to mention it also covers my global entry, TSA pre-check, and clear. So that alone to me covers the cost of the card. It also gets me into the Centurion lounges or the Delta lounges, so that's why I like to use my flight credit on Delta so that I can go into the Delta lounges that they have in the US. There's always a buffet or something that you can get before you get on your flights. The one at LA had a shower, so that was pretty neat. That card gives you rental car status too, so at Hertz specifically is one I use a lot, National. It just helps you get that upgrade to your card, just that elevated level of service. But that's why for me, I know I'm going to travel, that's something that I really like to do, and this card just helps me elevate my level of travel that I wouldn't normally have. And if you're really curious about any of these cards, I'll have links in the description below if you want to check them out. So the next card I got after that was the American Express Gold card, which at the time was $250. Now it's $325 or something like that, and it's good, but it, you know, and you'll see, I don't know, maybe I might not keep this card. But at the time, $250 annual fee. And I think I had an 80,000 point sign up bonus at the time. But what I love about this card is that it has a very high multiplier on one of my biggest spend categories, which is dining and groceries. So the credits I used on this card was the $120 Uber credit, the $120 dining credit that I could use at either Cheesecake Factory or like on Grubhub. That's why at the time it was like $240 versus $250 annual fee. With the Forex back, I could easily see myself, you know, doing well on this card and making out. Now they have this $100 Resi credit, which maybe I'll use. There's an $89 Dunkin' Donuts credit, which I wouldn't normally go to Dunkin' Donuts, so to me I don't count that as part of my credits. But you can also take a look and see what you get back, you know, if you were to redeem your points for cash back. Technically, all credits aside, you know, for the $325 annual fee, if you spent around $8,125 on dining or groceries in the year, which is about $677 per month, technically that would pay for your $325 you paid on the card. The next card that I got was a Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which has a $95 annual fee. And at the time that I signed up, I think it was a 100,000 point bonus. So admittedly, and again, there's just so much in this world of points and miles, but I only have this card because it gives me access to the Chase portal, which allows me to transfer Chase points to partners like Hyatt for hotels or other airlines. Otherwise, the card is decent and has 3x on dining, which again, versus the Amex Gold, which had 4x on dining. That's why I don't really use this Chase Sapphire card. Mostly, if maybe someone doesn't take American Express, I'll use this card. But I mainly had gotten it for the big sign-up bonus that I had at the time and to get access to the portal. And for $95 a year, that's worth it to me. Then the next few cards that I got, and I realized that I had made a mistake by going with American Express first, but we can talk a little bit more about that later because Chase has limitations for how many cards you can get in a certain period. But again, that's probably for another video if you guys are interested. But that's why after that I got 3 Chase business cards, because business cards don't count towards the whole Chase ecosystem counting of cards. So the 3 Chase Ink cards that I signed up for were the Chase Ink Unlimited, Chase Ink Cash, and the Chase Ink Business Preferred. So the only one that has an annual fee is the Business Preferred. And that's $95, very similar to the Sapphire Preferred. And that's the same concept as well. The Business Preferred gets you access to the portal, and you can't mix the business and the personal points together, which kind of is annoying. But again, with those cards, I think I got maybe close to 200,000 Chase points from that. And again, the Business Unlimited and the Business Cash are free cards, so doesn't really hurt me to keep them open. And then because, you know, business cards don't show up on your personal credit report, I just went all in on more business cards. That's why if you have a business, this really unlocks a lot of points opportunities for you. So the next one I opened up was the Marriott Bonvoy business card. And this card has a $125 annual fee. And the reason why I got this card is because there's an anniversary free night that you get with Marriott. And just in my head, I do like to stay in hotels. I'm not really an Airbnb or a hostel guy, but I know that hotels are usually more than $125 a night. So to me, to have this free night from this card makes sense because I'm only paying a $125 annual fee. This card also adds what they call qualifying nights towards my status at Marriott. So it just helps with that as well. And again, status at hotels helps you get those upgrades, helps, you know, again, just elevates your game a little bit more in travel. The next card I got after that was the Wyndham Business Earner card, and this is a little bit of a weird card. The main reason why I got this card is because Wyndham is a partner of Caesars, and at the time I was going to Vegas, you know, 1 to 2 times a year for whatever reason. Getting this Wyndham card gave me diamond status at Wyndham, which then transferred to diamond status at Caesars. And by having diamond status at Caesars, I had a $100 credit, and every time I went to Vegas, I would end up at Bacchanal, which is this like buffet. So that $100 credit paid for the $95 annual fee on that Wyndham Business Earner card. But the real reason why I got this card, what they did is the carousel of status matching. So I could go get the Wyndham Business Earner card diamond status, match that to Caesars diamond status, and then at the time I could match that status to MGM Gold status. And then at the time, MGM was a partner of Hyatt, and then I was able to get Hyatt Explorer status, which is pretty good. But since then, that partnership has ended, so my status carousel has kind of imploded. But I have a bunch of Wyndham points now, so I gotta figure out a way to use them. So if you guys know any good Wyndham hotels or nice Wyndham areas, please let me know in the comments below because I'm having trouble finding them. So the next business card that I ended up getting was the American Express Blue Business Plus card. And that's a free card which gives you 2x points on any purchase up to $50,000. This also gave me a 20,000 point sign up bonus, but again, another free card that I can just keep open, and anytime I use it, I get 2x Amex points on it, which is pretty good. So after I exhausted those business cards for a while, I went back for my last Chase slot, which was the World of Hyatt card. So this card has a $95 annual fee, but this card also gives you a free night. So very similar to the Marriott business card, a night at Hyatt is going to usually cost more than $95. So that's why the free night covers the cost of the card. To me, this gets especially fun when you have another significant other or someone you like to travel with, and then you can both get the card and then you get 2 free nights at that hotel. It also gives you a little bit of elevated status, but nothing really to write home about. But again, to me, this is one of the best Chase cards out there. So after I exhausted the Chase options, then I moved over to Citi. So I was able to get the Citi Premier card, which I believe is now called like the Strata card or something like that. That has a $95 annual fee, the Citi Custom Cash card, and the Citi Double Cash card. So they call this the Citi Trifecta, and the Citi Premier, or now the Strata card, is very similar to the Chase Sapphire Preferred in that you have to have this card in order for you to open up the Citi portal so you can transfer your points over to the partners. And that's the best way you get your bang for your buck, is when you transfer to your airline or hotel partners. So that's why those cards are so important. The Citi Double Cash card gets you 2x back on everything, but that's a free card. And the Citi Custom Cash card gives you 5x on certain categories up to a certain amount. So I use that as my gas card, so I get 5x points on my gas. So after my Citi journey, I went back into American Express and I opened up the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant card. That one had another big sign-up bonus. I think it was like 180,000 Marriott points for that one. It's a $650 annual fee credit card, but it also gives you a $300 restaurant credit that you can use, so it's $25 a month. And they give you a free night worth up to 85,000 points. So as long as I book a hotel that's over $350 in value, technically I'm making out on that card. So for example, I was just able to book a night at the St. Regis in Chicago, and I think those nights are going for over $1,000 a night, so technically pretty good. This card also gives me Marriott Platinum status, which usually comes with free breakfast, a room upgrade. Sometimes they have a club lounge that you can go to. So when we got to the St. Regis, we were actually upgraded to a suite. So again, it just elevates my level of travel when normally I would just be in a regular $300 hotel and not have any of these extra perks. But instead I got to stay in, an over $1,000 per night suite, get all the services, all the whatevers, that's more of the fun of the travel. And the next card I got was the American Express Hilton Aspire card, which is another hotel card. Another big sign-up bonus, I think about like 190,000 Hilton points. And at the time that I had this card, the annual fee was $450. Now I believe it's $550. But it comes with a $200 flight credit. It used to be easier to use, but now it's $50 every quarter. But along with that $200 per year credit, you also get Hilton Diamond status, which is the highest status with Hilton. And it also gives you a free night at basically any Hilton hotel. So whether the hotel is a DoubleTree down the street, or like a Waldorf Astoria, or one of those big high-end $1,000 per night hotels, this card can give you that free night. And because you have the highest status with Hilton, you'll likely get upgraded, again treated a lot better than the regular people. And especially if you go international where they don't have these credit cards like the US to help elevate your status, you're just treated that much better outside of the US. So then after that, I have my final card, which is the American Express Platinum Business card. And this one gave me a 190,000 point sign-up bonus. The annual fee is $695. The benefits are pretty similar to the American Express Platinum card, with you getting Centurion Lounge access, you have the $200 flight credit. And this one does have a $400 Dell credit, which I use to get like this keyboard and mouse behind me. But honestly, I really got this card for the sign-up bonus. Because it's a double up with the regular Platinum, I probably won't keep this card. 190,000 point sign-up bonus, redeemed for cash back, is about $1,900. So again, I still make out on that card. So those are all of my 18 credit cards. So again, if you have any questions about those cards, I'll have links to them below. And I know it might be a lot of information. There's a lot that goes into it. It's very hard to cover it all in one video. But I did kind of want to show you the cards that I have and how I use them. If you have any questions on this process, or you want to know more, or especially if you want like another video just on this topic, please let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply to you. This is kind of a new, different video. I just wanted to see if this was something you guys were interested in. So if you liked it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and hit our notification bell below so you can join our growing family here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and I'll see you on the next video.